Long ago, the world God had created had grown dark. People turned away from what was right, and violence filled the land.
You never listened to me.
Why would I? You always lie.
Kindness and goodness were forgotten, and the earth itself seemed to cry out under the weight of human sin. Among all the people, one man walked faithfully with God. His name was Noah. Noah lived a righteous life, trusting God when others did not. And because of his faith, God chose him for a great purpose. God saw the corruption of the world, the hearts filled with evil, and he was deeply grieved. Yet even in his judgment, he remembered mercy.
Noah, the earth is filled with violence. I will bring a flood to cleanse the world, but you have found favor in my eyes. Build an ark according to my instructions, for through you, life will be saved.
I will do everything you have said, Lord.
Noah did not argue. He did not question God's plan. He listened. And when the voice faded, Noah turned back toward the world he knew. As he entered the village, familiar faces passed by, unaware of what was coming. He saw its people. He saw its brokenness. He saw the disbelief that filled their hearts. He walked toward the village, toward the noise, the doubt, and the laughter that awaited him. Where others saw impossibility, he saw obedience. Where others trusted their eyes, he trusted God. With quiet determination, Noah took his first steps toward the place where the ark would rise. The sound of the axe echoed across the open land. It was unfamiliar, it was unsettling, and it did not go unnoticed. Some stopped to watch, some laughed quietly, others turned away in disbelief. They judged what they did not understand. Noah did not work alone for long. One by one, his sons came and stood beside him. They saw the marks in the wood. They saw the seriousness in their father's eyes. And without questions, they chose to help. Strength joined purpose. The work became a shared act of faith. What began as one man's obedience became the labor of a family. Day after day, the ark began to take shape, slowly, steadily. Noah's wife stood nearby, offering quiet support. She did not doubt the work. She believed in the God who had called them. But the people of the village continued to watch. They whispered, they laughed.
Look at them, still at it.
They'll never finish that thing.
They pointed at the growing structure.
A boat in the desert, what a joke.
To them, it was foolishness. To Noah, it was faith. Still, the ark rose higher. Beam upon beam. Wall upon wall. Time passed, seasons changed, and the ark stood tall upon the land. Then, one day, something unexpected happened. Animals began to arrive, stepping softly onto the land as life slowly returned. Noah and his wife watched in awe. From distant lands, they came. Large and small, 2 by 2. Guided by God's hand, they came without fear. At God's command, Noah gathered his family. The time had come. And a new beginning drew near. Obedience had prepared the way, and now God Himself would lead them forward. Together, they entered the ark, every animal in its place. Then God himself shut the door. The sky darkened. The wind stirred. Rain began to fall, each drop breaking the silence of the land. The rain did not stop. It grew stronger with each passing moment. The sky grew darker still, and thunder echoed across the land. While the storm raged outside, inside the ark there was peace. The water began to rise, turning dry ground into silent, moving water. The ark was lifted from the earth, and it floated upon the waters. Thunder shook the sky, but the ark held firm. God had sealed them in. They are safe here. The land vanished beneath the waters. Nothing remained but the ark, carrying life across the deep. Inside the ark, care was given. Life was nourished. Warmth remained. It did not stop for 40 days and 40 nights. Days passed, then more days. Noah's family waited, trusting the God who brought them through the storm. Then the rain stopped and silence returned to the earth. God's judgment gave way to mercy. Then the water grew silent, resting at last beneath a quiet sky. Morning came, but the waters remained. There was no path to follow, only the patience to wait. Day followed day, and still, the waters covered the earth. Night fell upon the waters, and the ark drifted in silence. The night did not hurry, and neither did the ark. Morning returned, but the waters were still. Noah remained patient, trusting God's timing as the days passed in quiet faith. The sky began to change, light slowly breaking through the clouds. Noah sent out a raven, its dark wings cutting through the quiet air. But the raven did not return. Noah sent out a dove, watching as it lifted into the open sky. When the dove returned with an olive leaf, Noah knew the earth was healing. Life was returning. Hope had returned. At last, the rain was over, leaving the world washed clean and still. The ark came to rest upon a mountain.
Come out of the ark.
Finally, Noah hears God's voice again. God called Noah and his family forward, his voice gentle in the stillness, leading them into the future he had prepared. Stepping onto the fresh, dry land, Noah and his family looked upon a renewed world. The earth had been cleansed, and a new beginning had arrived.
Noah built an altar and offered thanks to God.
Thank you, Lord, for your goodness and faithfulness.
God made a covenant with Noah, promising that never again would a flood destroy the earth. And as a sign of his promise, God placed a rainbow in the sky. The story of Noah teaches us that obedience matters, that faith can protect us even in the darkest times, and that God always keeps his promises. May we remember Noah's example, walking faithfully, obeying even when it is hard, and trusting in God's plan, for his promises never fail.